Hey friend, welcome back to Bible Tract Echoes, and I've got some exciting news to share with you today. I'm Mike McCurry, the host of this program, and I want to tell you about something exciting that we've been working on for really the last 6 months or so, but it was a dream of ours, a dream of mine personally for over a decade, something the Lord has finally brought together in His timing, and I'm glad I didn't try to get ahead of His timing, and I'm glad I'm not behind His timing. Excited to share some incredible news with our BTI family, folks just like you. We are releasing a brand new album from our ministry, from myself and my brother-in-law Austin, and 5 of our dear friends that are singing with us on this album. The group is called Goodly Heritage. It's a new group formed by some wonderful friends of ours who are also dedicated Christian servants. Each member of the group is a family man and a man of God who takes the creation of godly music very seriously. We are so thrilled to bring you this new album here in the very near future. It's filled with God-honoring songs that, Lord willing, will uplift and inspire each and every listener. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you can get it in just a moment, but you can listen to the very first single that we released. The single was released, I believe, just a little bit before Father's Day, but we are going to be releasing the full album in July. I'm going to tell you how you can get the full album shortly, but if you'd like to listen to the single titled I Have a Goodly Heritage, it's a great song. I hope you'll listen to I Have a Goodly Heritage. If you'd like to get a direct link, maybe you listen on Apple Music, maybe you listen on Spotify, wherever you might listen. If you want to make sure you get an exact link to it, text the word Heritage, 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 Heritage. Text that word to this phone number. You can text me directly at 309-316-7240. Again, that's 309-316-7240. And we'll make sure you get a direct link to listen to that first single. It'll actually be the last song on the album itself. The album is titled Thank You, and it will be releasing publicly on July 15th, but you can get an advance copy this way. For every donation of $25 or more in the month of June to Bible Tracts Incorporated, we're going to send you an advance copy of the album before its public release. Now, we're going to have them in hand sometime in very early July, and so we're going to send them to you as soon as we get them in our hands. So you might actually get your copy right around or right before July 15th, just with the way the mail works and all that type of stuff. But for those that wait until the official release to order it, they won't be getting theirs till after July 15th. But if you'd like to get this album, if you want to secure your own copy or get a few to share, you can send me that text, Heritage, at 309-316-7240. I'll tell you how you can give a $25 or more donation and make sure you get one of those advance copies. And if you're curious about the sound of Goodly Heritage, I'd encourage you to listen to that single. And what I want to do for just a moment is introduce you to some of the men on this project. These are committed servants of God, and their families are wonderful. We're so privileged to work alongside them. And in this album, it's more than music. It's a celebration of faith, friendship, and we hope you'll join us in supporting these men in this project. The title is Thank You, and the group name is Goodly Heritage. But who is Goodly Heritage? Well, Abe Che, if we go in alphabetical order, Abe Che, he's a co-pastor at Grace Baptist Church in Lockport, Illinois. And good folks, his dear wife, Mandy, we're so thankful for this family. And my wife and I actually got to celebrate another friend of hers and Mandy's birthday for one of her friends and went out to eat with Abe. They're not that far from us over there in Lockport, so we met at kind of a halfway point and had some dinner. They're good folks. Next up would be Daniel Hudson and his dear wife. They serve in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Bella Vista Baptist there. He works alongside his dad. He's an assistant pastor. I believe his dad's name is Matt Hudson, and a good man. The Hudsons are just wonderful folks, and he's a great piano player, great singer, He's a good man. He's been a friend of mine for some years. Stephen Lesmeister. Stephen Lesmeister, you may have heard me talk about Pastor Joe Grimaldi many times on this broadcast. Well, Stephen Lesmeister grew up at a church that Pastor Grimaldi pastored up in, is it Rochester, Minnesota, thereabouts? And so Brother Stephen, I love his smooth baritone voice, and you're going to want to hear him on this album. There's some guy named Mike McCurry on the album. Did you know that? Yes, I put the group together, and what I did was I assembled singers that are better than me, and that's not saying much because that's pretty easy to do. But yes, I get to be the director of Bible Tracts Incorporated, and I get to put on my resume bass for Goodly Heritage. And there's about 7 guys in the group currently. And you say, isn't a quartet 4? A quintet is 5? Yeah. Well, what we did was to give people a break where we recorded so much music in a short period of time. We actually recorded 2 albums at once. So the first one's going to drop here in the summer, and we haven't quite decided when the second one will release. It'll either be at the very end of this year or the beginning of next year. I'd encourage you to listen to the very first one of the 19 or 20 songs that we recorded, I Have a Goodly Heritage. I think if you search on Apple Music, on Spotify, if you search Goodly Heritage, if enough of you search, it'll come up. If you have a problem finding it, you know how it is with a brand new music group. It takes a little while for the algorithm to catch on. But if you look for the group Goodly Heritage, you should find us, or just text me the word heritage, HERITAGE, to my phone number, heritage, to 309-316-7240. And for myself, if you are curious, my name is Michael McCurry, my wife Rebecca, my girls Emmy and Lucy, and I have the privilege of serving the Lord as an evangelist out of the First Baptist Church of Dwight in Dwight, Illinois. And I also get to direct this ministry, Bible Tracts Incorporated. Speaking of another co-laborer here at BTI, my brother-in-law, Austin Marriott. He's a youth pastor at our home church, but he also works here at BTI, and he had such a huge integral role in this album. Number one, he let me bounce the ideas off of him, and he had so many great ideas about the group as well. This is as much his baby as it is mine, but he was the one that did all the tuning and timing for the project. He was the engineer sitting there hitting start and stop and record, all that type of stuff. He's a tenor in the group as well. He does a wonderful job. I'm excited. I'm sad it's not going to be on the first album, but the second album, he has a beautiful solo with a little bit of help from a trio on the chorus, but a beautiful song, Press On. If you're looking for some encouragement, you got to stick around and wait for that one to come out, because that's a great song. I'd encourage your brother Austin Marriott to listen in on this first album. He's got a high part or two I think you'll enjoy. Then another friend of mine, AJ Nichols, and his dad has been a friend to me for some years. AJ and I, though, we met at college, Bible college together. And actually, I mentioned this is a dream, this group, a decade plus in the making. Well, Brother AJ and I talked about doing a quartet, recording some music, a men's group, back in the day when we were in Bible college together in Northern California. And his dad pastored in the Sacramento area. Stephen Nichols pastored in the Sacramento area of California for some years. And so he and I got to know each other. We've been friends now for years. And we were talking about this for the longest time. And for multiple reasons, the Lord just didn't let it go through, didn't let it happen, whether it was funds, whether it was just availability, whatever it was. And so the Lord allowed it to come together. Now, as soon as we saw the opening, saw the opportunity, I said, I'm going to talk to AJ. I want him on this thing. And so he was able to make it happen. We recorded back in January. And you know how the post-production process works. It just takes a little while. You got the recording. Then you'll have all the tuning and timing, all the orchestration stuff that needs to happen as well. There's some strings on here. If you like guitar or a dobro or a banjo, we have a little bit of that. It's not like a complete bluegrass style or anything like that, but it has a little bit of that flavor on some of them. Then there's some a cappella, a number or so. And there's some more, I don't know that you'd call it, it doesn't have pomp and circumstance necessarily. That's not what we're looking for, but it just has a variety. I wouldn't say eclectic, but it just has a variety to it. And so it has some strings, it has some piano, some beautiful piano work as well. And it's just a good time. So Brother AJ, he and I have talked, we just texted back and forth sometimes about just how excited we are about it. And finally, I get to tell all of you about it now. And then Devin Ogden. Devin is a high tenor, and he owns it. I love the fact that he has a good attitude of the voice God's given him. You know what they say? Every tenor wants to be a bass, and every bass wants to be a tenor. Well, Brother Devin is way up there. And his speaking voice doesn't quite portray how high he can sing. And I think you're going to enjoy Brother Devin on this as well. A good young man at Peace Baptist Church, Wilmington, North Carolina. He and his wife serve there. He's a youth pastor. They're doing exciting things with youth ministry there. And I'd encourage you to text the word heritage. I'll give you that number one more time. 309 316 7240. I want you to listen to this first single, I Have a Goodly Heritage. It's got just a little medley in there. And Brother AJ sings the first and second verse, and then Stephen comes over the top with this medley piece at the very end, and it is just gorgeous, but it speaks to the purpose for this group. All of us are very blessed with a godly mother and father, and the song talks about, and if in the future my parents pass on. And the very first time we sang that live, I saw a tear try to squeeze out of the corner of Brother Daniel Hudson's eye as he thought about his mother, who has passed on and is in heaven now. And as the rest of us, there will come a day, should the Lord tarry his coming, the Lord gives strength to us, our parents will pass on, but we have a goodly heritage, both our parents, the pastors that have invested in us, the people like you that allowed the ministry of BTI to go on. I think back to the work of Paul Levine and all that God allowed him to do. When we say the group name Goodly Heritage, that's what we're talking about. We want to talk about and we want to thank God for the goodly heritage that we have. And I'd encourage you, friend, if you don't realize what kind of heritage you have, how good it is, I'd encourage you to make sure that you don't lose track of and you don't lose sight of the gratitude you should have. I think of Pastor Grimaldi. He preached this recently, but Psalm 16, verses 5 and 6, we're going to end with this. He said, "The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage." Of course, that's David, sweet psalmist of Israel, speaking about the inheritance, the land that God's given him and how much of a blessing it is and how God gave him exactly what he needed. But we can absolutely claim that as the modern day Christian, how God has blessed us in so many different ways. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. My prayer, as always, is that you have a great day for his glory. We'll plan on talking to you soon and share more of the blessings of God on BTI. God bless.
Thank you for joining us today for Bible Tract Echoes, a ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. If you would like to receive a free sample booklet of all of our tracts, you can contact us by calling 309-828-6888. That's 309-828-6888. Our mailing address is P.O. Box 130, Dwight, Illinois 60420. A faster way to contact us is to go to our website at BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org. There you will find more information about our ministry and details on how you can support Bible Tracts Incorporated. Thanks for listening, and may the Lord richly bless you as you serve Him.